Alright. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be part 2 of the Russian BMPT Terminator 1/35th scale by Meng. Not Festa, Meng. Okay, so last time we got some wheels assembled, as we can see here. Got a whole bunch of wheels, including the drive sprockets and the, what are these called? Idler wheels. Okay, idler wheels, drive sprockets. Oops, that wasn't supposed to come apart. I guess I gotta glue that again. And road wheels. And I have painted the rubber on the road wheels as well. And got that done yesterday. Hopefully my voice holds out. I don't know what I've got going on with my throat, but something's going on. So let's put this back together. Did I forget to glue it or something? It's very strange. There we go. Let's just test the other one. No, this one's fine. Okay, well, with that done, we've got some stuff to do on the lower hull. Okay, so we've got these parts put on here. Now I've gone ahead and I did those yesterday. So I'll show you guys on this side, because it's basically just a duplicate. Put all your pieces together and put them on. So we're working with the R tree, the F tree, and the E. Okay, and I happen to have them here. Okay, so here's the E. So with the E, I'm actually going to take my glasses and trade them off here just to give myself a little bit of an easier time. And seeing these numbers. Okay, so we need E1 and E6, right? I've already taken the E1 off this tree and E6, so that one's done. Okay, and so here's an E1 here. We need 3 on each side, okay? And that's why. So we have one where the E6 is right here. Okay. And I have to trim off this little extra piece of flash in here. This is, having never assembled a Meng kit before, this is my first one ever. And I can honestly say I've never encountered a kit that has such extractor pin marks. I don't know if that's all Meng kits are like that, or if it's just this particular one. I really don't know. So now we've got 3 and we've got 3. Okay, so we're gonna clean this up. But I mean, even on the inside of the hull, I showed you guys in part 1 of this build all the ejector pin marks that were actually sticking up on all these little spots, right? So you can get in here. You see all these little white, light green spots. That's where all these ejector pins were sticking up, and I had to take them off, right? All over this thing. But I noticed even on the inside of this, there was a couple sitting there. I figured out what this piece was for. This is, eventually, I'm going to be putting in parts for the road wheels, and this thing, you put this on the side, and it helps you guide it and line them all up so that they're all straight. But even this has freaking ejector pins on here. Like, big honking things. Like even this piece, right there. There's one right there. And there was one here, and there's one there. Like, they're all over the place on this kit. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, So we're going to put this, we have this in this orientation, but we're going to flip it over, right? So this is going to go on these little holes, okay, 1, 2, and 3, and these simply just go into these little notches, like that, okay? So I just want to make sure these are nice and cleaned up before I put them on. A lot of this stuff is going to be covered in paint anyway, so it's just a matter of making it look not so gnarly. Oh, and I'll show you guys the tracks. I put the first layer of rust color down on the tracks yesterday, so that's it there. So now they got a coat of a light yellowish orange color. That's the way they look so far, right? So we've still got darker shades to put on there, but I'm letting them sit and dry for a good day, making sure that I didn't put the paint on too thick, because I don't want any of the tracks to actually seize when the paint dries, right? So I waited about an hour and then kind of moved the tracks around a little bit, bent them, of course being careful because those side pieces are kind of loose and they want to fall off, and well, I don't want them to fall off. I might wind up having to glue a few of them depending on how it all turns out. We will see. Okay, so here's this side, and here's my reference for how these are going to go. We're going to go on this side now, right? Of course, this piece doesn't really like, the hole doesn't like to sit on its side, but that's okay. Let's have this open and ready first. The particular paint scheme I am going to be going with this is, I'm not sure what to call it. I'm going to go with the more greeny color and not the desert color. I've got my M1A1 Abrams, which is a desert color. I've got my Israeli Terran 5 tank. That's a desert color for obvious reasons. So I want to go with a non-desert camouflage on this one. Of course, I do the ROK Black Panther tank. Beautiful tank. Love that one. Shout out to my Korean friends. Love that tank. It's very nice. And that one I did do a green camo on that one. Because obviously there's no desert in South Korea. So they wouldn't have any reason to paint it that color. And there we go. So those are those. Those are those. Okay? You understand what I mean? Those are those. And that's going to be it. So there also is this front plate on here with the 2 hooks. That was a very simple process. Just put that on there. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. You might be able to see this plate is actually molded in a different color green than this. You can see it on the camera there. I bring it in close if it will focus on here. Let's see. Can you focus for me? Come on, I know you can focus. I know you can. Do it. There, okay. Back off a little bit. See how the different color green? It just forces you to paint it, right? Because you can't leave it like that. Like, who's going to leave it like that? Anyway, so that's obviously a different color green, and I have to deal with that later. but I'm going to be painting the whole thing. I just noticed there's hatches on the bottom of this tank. I've yet to see that on a tank. There's hatches on the bottom, underneath of it. That is, that's crazy. Wow, that's cool. Who would have thought? Hatches on the bottom. Anyway, oh, I also have to put on this other piece here, this front one. R2 and F22. So that's these guys. So R, this is F. That's the one I used already. R22 is this guy here. There we go. And then F22. Right here. Okay. It's out of the way. Alright. So it doesn't matter whether you put these two together first or you put one on the hull and then the second one on the hull. It doesn't matter. You only go in one direction. There's a little notch here. That's got to line up. You get the slot on that. And it's easy enough. You just do. This one has to go in at a particular angle. Basically, the arrow pointing forward. And it really is the only way it will fit on. It doesn't really fit any other way. As you try and rotate it around and see how it's going to fit, it only fits in one particular spot. And that'll be like that. Okay? So, let's put some glue on it. Okay, and similar with this, you got that little notch that's going to go in there, so this is going to go down, point, just like that. So it's over there, put a little on the sides, just for good measure. And there you go. And that's that. Okay. So moving on, we've got to find A7 and M20, which means I gotta get my box out here. There's A tree sitting right on the top, and I need M. Here we go. There's an M. So we have two M's, so M20, I need 4 of them, and they're right there, and there's only 2 on this, so that tells me I'll be grabbing the other M. Okay, sure. There we go. Okay. Alright, so let's go doink, 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 and doink. Oh, you fell off. There you go. Alright. Now I need A7. 7, 5, 7, this guy here. I was just thinking about it. Why do the Russian tanks have the best, like, not even just tanks, why do the Russians in general, their military vehicles, they got the coolest names? I mean, yeah, okay, so we have the, you know, the F-15 Eagle, the F-14 Tomcat. Okay, those are alright, right? F-22 Raptor. Okay, if you hadn't watched Jurassic Park, you probably wouldn't even know what a raptor is, right? In fact, you know, all this stuff about the velociraptors of the dinosaur eras show that those particular dinosaurs weren't necessarily anything like what we saw in the Jurassic Park movies, more like the size of a turkey, right? But the Jurassic Park made those things famous, and so F-22 Raptor is kind of a cool name because of that, because you envision those things in the movie. But what about Russia's answer to the F-22, the Su-57 or Su-57? What do they call it? The Felon. Like, it's criminal. Like Felon. It's just got a, I don't know. It's got a sinister tone to it. The Su-57 Felon. And look at tanks. Okay, so we've got our, America has their M1A1 Abrams. Ooh, that just strikes fear into you. Oh no, it's an Abrams coming. No, not really. But yet, Terminator. Russia's has the Terminator tank. Like, really? Terminator? How did you get to call it that? And we don't get to call any of ours something like that. I don't know. How was Terminator not the name not copyrighted by Hollywood? We could sue the country for using the name Terminator on their tank. Anyway, I'm just blabbing. Okay, so this guy goes on, these little pegs are going to line up here, like this. I don't like it this way. Alright, so it's pretty loose fit. No, not really. I've got 4 points it's going to connect, so that's good. Again, it's a darker green than the hull. I'll hold it down for a minute here while the glue kind of sets, just because it wasn't a precise fit and I don't want it to start to come apart as soon as I let go. So this is called the self-entrenching device. Self-entrenching device. It's kind of cool that Meng is giving me listings of what these parts are called on the tank. Either wheels, drive sprockets, road wheels. This is the lower glacis plate. And then this, of course, self-entrenching device. Okay, so we've got some holes, boom, 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 for these to go onto. And we're going to go in like this, and then just sit on them like that. Okay. One. There we go. Okay, our self-entrenching device has been installed. And that's going to be it for this page. So, let's flip our page. Next is going to be torsion bars. See, like I wouldn't have known to call these torsion bars, but the book tells me that's what they are. That's cool. I like that. These are all E10, ON, and E11. Okay. And then we need some M's. Okay, so we're going to find our E trees. I thought I had my E's over here. Yes. Okay, so E10. I don't know if there's really a difference between E10 and 11. E11 does look a little bit different. It's got pins sticking out the end, but E10 does not. So, okay. So that's it for now on that tree. Anyway, let's just put you there, and we have another E, and do the same thing. So another 11. Ding, 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 ding. And these guys, and these guys, and of course we need our tanks. That one's done. And our last E. Okay, so those are done. Now these are going to need to be a little cleaned up, especially on these rods. I don't know how clean they really need to be. It's going to be interfering at all. But it's always good just to make sure.
Eventually.
Okay, so these are done, and now we can continue with actually putting them together. So if we put this in the configuration that we have in the picture, we need to get M14s and M15. Okay? Okay, so M trees. Fourteen, 14, 15, 15, 15. Yes, okay. That's easy enough. And we have two M trees, so we're going to have double the amount of things. Okay. Okay, so now we've got all our parts needed. So we need to take M14 and E7, put them together, and we take an E9. And they don't want us to glue this together. So press those together. I guess that allows us to spin on it. As long as we get rid of all the flashing, it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so we're going to make 6 of these. Okay, so let's get to work. Another one of these, one of these, and one of these. Let's put together. There we go. These, one of these. Okay. Flash and get rid of on this one. There we go. It's 4. So flashing on this one. There. And one more. And there we go. So we got 6 of those made. And now we're going to take M15 and E11. So that's E11 and M15. This guy is going to go on here. And again, they don't want us to glue it. So that's going to go on like this. Just by the looks of it, that's going to be a tight fit. Does go on though. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do that on all of them, I guess. Make 6. Yep, same thing. I have to admit, I'm a little bit weary of that, but I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared to break that little pin. But for the most part, it's not too much pressure required to put it on. This little peg does have a little bit of a head. It's got a head on it. So once you press it through, it doesn't just fall off. It actually stays there. See? And 5 out of 6, none broken yet. 6th one, perfect. No breakage. Okay. So, now, they're calling this A and B, and then you got B, A, B, A, B, A, like this. Okay, so, A is going to go on B. So they show it like this, and then this. Onto that. Then, going through here, Then it falls apart on me. I'm going to set myself up. There we go. So it looks like this connects on here and then connects there. And I have to put it this way. There's my tweezers. Interesting how that's actually locked in there. Once I push that in, it doesn't go in that far, and this does. Unless that's not in far enough. Want to make sure that if I do push that over the end, it's going to be able to come in underneath it. It should be able to. So let's try putting a bit of glue on this and help it. Or better yet, let's just scrape off flashing on this so that it fits a little nicer. Okay, so I'm going to glue that in right now. Sometimes you need to put the glue in order to help it. The glue almost actually is like lubricant to help get it in there. Let's see. And now it's a bitch to try and get that in there. Get it there. Okay, so that's in. The orientation, I'm not sure how it's supposed to go. It might be supposed to be like this, I think. And now we take our E10s and we just shove them in here. Like this. And it looks like we're going to do the similar things here and here. And we do want it that way. You see how I can see here. Yeah, so that's the way they want it going. So it's this piece facing forward, then going down, and this is in the same orientation as the rest of it. So that's simple enough. So these can go in here like this. In preparation. And I'm just going to make sure that these are clean so that when I put some glue on them, they will go in first try. it is kind of cool that, in a sense, the suspension, for lack of a better term, is actually going to be functional. Okay. Even though I did that, it's still a tight fit. Even still, it's nice that I get a little bit of movement in there, so it's not super tight. And obviously I didn't get any glue where it doesn't belong, because that still moves. So that's good. Good. Okay. Stay it. There we go. Next one. Okay. This one's ready. And that one's in. This is a little bit stiffer. Moves just the same. Just like that. These guys just kind of dangling. I don't know how they're actually supposed to, like, they don't want this. They actually do. They don't say for these 3 E10s, they don't say not to glue them. Only these guys. They say don't glue these. Right? This one's a bit of a stiff movement, but it still moves, no problem. But they don't say not to glue these. But at the same time, we need our little guide. So this guy here, he goes in on the side. And see, they've conveniently cut a hole so you put that hole in there. And so what you do is you line all these guys up. This guy needs to face it away. Same with you. Okay. And we get them all to line up and go in their holes. Just like that. Now you can hold this onto the side, and now they're all lined up, right? And I guess what that does allow now is you can glue these in their spots where they're supposed to be. What's funny is that this guy doesn't want to be in this spot. The rest of them are conforming. This guy doesn't want to. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to glue those down. Just these 3. Well, I guess technically I need to glue them all down, otherwise it's going to fall out of there. So I do need to glue them all. I have to glue them all. It's just the way it is. You gotta glue them. You gotta glue them all. I'm going to use my thin set so that I can hold it in place and let capillary action do its job. You, because you're being bad, you get a healthy amount of glue on you. I think I figured out why. There we go. What do I need here? Depending on how worried I am about it, and slather lots of glue on all of them. There we go. Okay, they're all in place. All glue is setting. Give it a minute or so, and we'll start working on the other side. Let's make sure they are all lined up. Yeah, they're all good. And they're all sticking out the same proportion. That's good. All our links are connected like they're supposed to be. Just like that and there. Okay, and we're good. Good to go. So I do kind of want to leave this on while I'm kind of assembling the other side. So what I'm going to do is tape it. Just so it will stay. So it stays on there, so I can have it like this and it's not going to fall anywhere. Let's see how it sits up now. It almost stays up. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a help. Okay, now this side. We're doing the same thing, but in reverse, right? I have to clean these three up first, otherwise they just don't like to fit. I'm going to try sanding them. See if sanding them does any better. Just because it's how that fits. Put a drop of glue on there, and let's see. Because of how tight it fits, I don't need a lot of glue. Really what I'm doing, why am I doing the glue? Just to make sure it's going to hold. I don't want it to ever pop out accidentally. And even sanding it down is still a very tight fit. So I don't know if it's really helping at all. But yeah. Sanding definitely helped with that one. And let's do our third one. Okay, that done. Throw this one on there. Okay, so those are in. So we're going to take these guys first. Get them on here. There we go. There's one. Two. So these actually sit like this. That kind of thing. There we go. Okay. Sitting in our little rods all proper. Good. And then these guys go in. And now it's probably safe to take this off. And put it on this side. Get it guys all lined up. go. Let's do this just to help me out. Make sure we're all good to go back here. All right. We're ready for some glue. Start off with the thin set. And then the thick stuff just for good measure. There we go. I was just about to call it landing gear. I was going to say our landing gear is all glued in. But it's not landing gear, I'm not working on a plane. Goes to show you what's been on my mind lately. Airplanes. Okay, so just to avoid putting any pressure on it right now, I'm just going to take a look. So we've done this, adjust the height of the torsion bar with the jig, then glue, remove the jig after the glue is dry. Okay, good enough. And we are happy with that so far. So the next step, let's just put you upside down here. So the next step, this looks like we're putting on some pieces on the back. We need to assemble this plate. Attaching the rear plate, yes, thank you, that's what it's called. Looks like we've got some, I don't know what those are, tracks? Spare tracks? Let's take a look at A6, okay? A6 right here. Anything else on A I need? No, that's it for A. I need some F's. Oh, I do need A8. This little rod right here. Okay, there. I need some F's. Where's my F tree? Where's my effing tree? There it is. There's one. F4 and 5 and 11. Okay, these are not tracks. Don't know what they are. Ooh, almost hit the floor. F4 and 5 and 11 and 15. And 11. 11 does look like 11 is a spare track. It really is. Okay, so that's it off of that one. And I've got another F and tree. So there's the other 11. And there's the other 15. shortly. Okay, I also need R4. I am going to enough R. R, matey. Where is R? Those are M's. G, Q, C, L, V, K, D, P. Where's R? Where's my R? Where's my R? These are E's. D, K, P, D, L, Q, C, G, M, A. Okay, which ones are? Right in front of me the whole freaking time. Four, and 3 for the other side. Okay. Let's see, what are these things? These are weird looking things. And it's almost made in such a way that it's like, is that flashing I need to trim off of there? Or is it actually supposed to look like that? I think it's actually supposed to look like that. And 4 and 5, they go together. Just like that. Okay. Don't ask me what the heck these things are supposed to be. But they go together like that. 4 and 5 together. Okay? Do that twice. It actually says make 4. Oh. Do that twice. Liar. Do it 4 times. They do only go together one way, so if you don't get it right, you'll know. You can see the seam line and how they're going together. So if you don't have it right, they're not going to line up. That little seam line just won't go. Whatever the heck these might be. I mean, I want to say it's like some kind of spare tracks, but they don't look like track pieces, really. They look quite strange. Frick out. There we go. Three done. One more to go. Okay, so those four are done. Now let's clean up our little track pieces. I do find it a little bit humorous that for the spare track pieces that are going to be mounted on here, they don't ask you to actually use pieces of track. But are actually just a totally separate thing. If I were to try and use this as a piece of track, it wouldn't work, it wouldn't fit. It's not exactly the same mold. So, it's kind of funny. Okay, so we got to take this piece and make sure it's clean. Have it sit like this, and how are we doing this? We're going to take this piece, we're going to take this track, and the pegs are going to line up and they're going to go there, okay? So, like that. Okay. Now, one thing that's crossing my mind right now, should I just wait and allow me to paint this later and then put it on? It might be a bit easier to do that, but I don't think it'll be the end of the world if I have difficulty getting in this spot to paint it later. I'm sure it'll be fine. I didn't quite get enough glue on that one, so I'm going from this side. So that's those. And now they have these showing, these guys, a couple of pins. This will go like that, and then, okay. glue for that one. Or that one. The pegs are so tight that I don't need to glue them in. They're holding on their own. That being said, I am going to put glue on them, but since they're nice enough to tight, I'll put glue on after I have it set. These ones, there we go. There. Okay, so I'm going to glue them from the back. There we go. So wherever those things are, they're glued on. And last, we get our little bar, and it is going to go, how does it go? Like this. Just like that. Okay. Just like so. So we've got our little accessories. Now, let's take our little block off here. Now that that is done, we won't need that no more. These guys, get these put on and then I'll call it a day. Okay. So these guys simply go in that slot. Any particular orientation? No. Nothing special. Just goes in there. Just need to clean that so it's so flush. These guys, there's no left or right, so just put some glue on them. Kind of sits in that little recess in there. So just make sure you've pressed down hard enough. Should be good. Just like that. Okay. And that's that. And then we've got little fenders that are going to go on the back here. And how do these line up? It looks like this peg goes here. little bit of a notch, a little hole there. I suppose it's supposed to line up. Okay, well, put dab onto here. And that up there. There's no holes or guiding lines on the edge, on the back, to guide where this is supposed to go. So it's just really just kind of guessing. So now I'll take this, pin the hole onto it. That. Okay, so there's one side done, just like that. Oh, there you go, right there. Okay, so let's do the other side. Again, putting someone there, so I can line it up in that spot. Now I see there is a tiny little, I don't know what you want to call it, a bit of a guide to the bottom here. It's just a little thing sticking out. I think my glue is finally at a point where I either need to get rid of it, add some from another jar. So the brush doesn't quite go down far from here anymore. Okay. Those are on. And now, last but not least, this guy. And he's going to go like this. Okay, got a nub I need to clean up here. sure anyway. Okay. Back here. Just like so. I'm not sure how flush that's supposed to be. I'm going to press it in like that and hold it with the glue. What glue? You haven't put any on yet. Well, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm just going to slather some on here. There we go. And put it together. Okay, I want to keep some weight on that for a minute or so, just to make sure it just stays in place. And so while I'm waiting for that to set, I'm going to call it a day, guys. That's it for now. Our lower hull is starting to look complete. And yeah, so the next step we want is to put the wheels on. But for the sake of paintability, I'm going to leave the wheels off and move on. Next step in the actual thing is to put the wheels on, then assemble the tracks. But of course, I've already assembled the tracks, right? So what are we going to do next time? Yeah, see, now they want to put the tracks on. And then we're going to start doing the upper fascia and upper hull stuff. So that's basically what's going to be the next video will be the upper hull stuff. And leave it like that. So I'm going to call it a day, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching and thanks for coming out. My voice sounds terrible. I lost my train of thought. Check out my check out my Twitch channel and follow me on Twitch. And I'll put the link in the box below. I don't know why I'm brain farting all of a sudden. Check out my Instagram. Go on there, follow me on there. Check out the still pictures of every build that I've made in the past, at least in the past year or so. And hit the like button and hit the subscribe. And once you've subscribed, you can hit the little bell. And yeah, then you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And then you can watch it. Yeah, that's fun, right? Woo! Anyway, I want to thank you guys. Thanks for the awesome comments I'm getting on my videos. You guys are really great. It's so inspiring to know that I'm doing something and I can help you guys, and you guys are learning stuff. That's really cool. It really is. So yeah, just a big thank you to all of you guys, and to the like 0.1% of you women out there too. Thank you. I've seen the analytics. I know there's like 0.1% of my viewers are women. Anyway, I'm going to call it for a day. And yeah, we'll see you all in part 3. Yeah.